Welcome to Devas of Creation. I've heard from a lot of people that
Greetings.
they actually have... Yes, hi.
Out of trouble now.
Shut up, shut up. I've heard, apparently, that a lot of people are struggling with gathering resources and don't know where to get them exactly. For example, things as alloy, stones of priority, gemstones, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show where to get every possible resource at every stage in the game. So starting off, we have basic oak, wood, and rocks, which can all be found best at the starting area because they're plentiful here. They're all just right around this area, and this is probably the best place to get rocks and oak wood. This is generally where I go to get my oak and oak wood. My rocks and oak wood. I cannot English this morning. Moving on to the next area. Moving on, you'll see the blob drops in this area can drop your leather and animal skin. Same thing with these Viridian warriors. More leather. Viridian snipers, more leather. You can also drop bows and things, but you'll probably have better weapons later on. Going up these staircases here, which you will have to do from the story to talk to Borg, you can see your first outcrop of Moonstone. There is more Moonstone down where the rest of the stones are, but there's a better place later on with a lot more Moonstone that I'm going to be showing. So here is the next tree you'll be most likely getting, Maplewood. Maplewood is most common in this forest area up here, but is also pretty common in the other area I will be showing. This area, the Elder Woods, there are some more difficult enemies if you're lower level, the grizzly bears, but they also drop the animal skin, leather, animal bones, and animal fur, which are more resources you can get if you're around this level. Right here, as you can see, there's a lot more maple around this area. There's this one here, there's that one there, more oak wood, another tree there that you can break, another tree there, and just a lot of trees in this general area. Moving on more west, I'm going to be going over to where we can get palmwood and emeraldite. This is probably the best way to get a lot of differentiated resources quickly for more early game people. Because there's lots of Moonstone outcrops along this wall, as well as outcrops of Emeraldite, which is where I got my first Dynasty sword. Here's the waypoint right here. And this is the location on the map. Continuing, as you can see, there's lots of different outcrops down here. Keep going down the path. I don't have a better mount than this because I'm bad at the game. I'm unlucky. Here's another outcrop of Emeraldite right there, and then right up on the hill. You might be able to see it, but yes, there's another outcrop right up there. Going down here, you can get palmwood early in the game. Quite a few places you can get it here, however you have to deal with more generals and more soldiers while you're down here. Moving on to alloy and stones of priority. I'm right here in the Forest Crossroads hub back in the Elder Woods. Here it is on the map, by the way. And this time we are going to be going towards the Ogre's Labyrinth, which is east instead. This is where we're going to get our alloy and stones of priority. So there is an area that I will be showing you after this, near the fishing settlement where you talk to Mirel for the first time, and you can kill the scarabs and lizardmen there. And they will commonly drop thread, animal bones, and animal skin for you early game. Later game, you're not going to have to worry about those because there's going to be higher level monsters that you can kill that will also drop these resources for you. So this is where the Brotherhood Ogres are. And you see the Savage Boars, you can get animal fur and animal bones here. With the level 25 enemies. And then you have the Brotherhood Ogre Hunters, which drop thread, your alloys, and your stones of priority. They are here on the map in the Ogre's Labyrinth. So now I am here at the Lake Forest Catacombs entrance, near the catacombs. Here you can find glacier trolls for later on in the game for more animal bones, stones of priority, and animal skin, but the real reason we're here first is to show you how to get Celestial Essence, dropped by Celestial Yggdrasils, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but basically they're the tier 4 tree to get Celestial Essence. While I'm here as well, there are much taller trees which I'll be showing a map on screen later on, to get Phoenix Redwood. This is one of the trees you can break to get said Phoenix Redwood. Anyway, moving on to Gemstones and Amberite. So this is where the catacombs is on this map, this giant structure right here, and this is the entrance. Be very careful, because in this area, PvP is on, and other players can kill you. PvP, as you can see, has been turned on, and there is no way for me to turn it off. In this area, you will find skeleton soldiers, which drop the gemstones that you need for tier 4 weapons. Generally, the best strategy is to group them up like this, with a mount. Waiting for all of them to get in a nice little pile before going and using AoE attacks to finish them. As you can see, I'm getting some animal bones here as well. Deeper into the catacombs, and also right in here, you can find Amberite, which is another one of the resources that you will need for crafting, right there. It is another mining resource. Moving on, you can also find Emeraldite in the catacombs. These spiders here, I'll wait for one of them to drop down so I can actually right-click, middle-click it. You can middle-click anything to show what it drops, by the way. These drop your stones of priority as well. They drop alloy, sulfur, which is going to be used later on, your gemstones, as well as animal skin and leather. Back here you have air warlords that also drop your leather, your alloys, and your gemstones, as well as blizzard blast staffs. In this room over here, you can see emberstone clusters, which I don't know exactly what they're used for. However, this is a place you can get them. I'm mainly going for the crafting resources at the moment. And then you can get Amethystium right here, which is one of the 2 places where you can get it. And I'm being harassed by generals. Moving on to the final crafting resources for armor and tools. I'll be flashing on the Phoenix Redwood map on the screen right now, but there's a really easy map you can follow along, just traveling between those locations to farming the Phoenix Redwood trees. Very simple, very easy to use. The design is very human. So right here on the far left side of the map, after the Lizardman Marsh, you're at the Sandstone Isle and the Ancient Pyramid. Here, as you can probably tell, you can get a lot of palmwood, there's emeraldite outcrops nearby, and there's enemies here that can drop animal skin, leather, thread, alloy, and gemstones, as well as stones of priority. There should be more emeraldite clusters around the area, but generally, as in like right there, you can get more palmwood that you would need. So right here's the final location, the Ancient Pyramid. This is where you're going to be mainly getting your amethyst, gemstones, and all of your other resources later on in the game. In here it consists of mainly level 50 and above enemies. Starting off as you enter, it's another PvP enabled area. And you should be able to see Amberite right over there, and blue golems. They drop alloys, gemstones, and sulfur. Sulfur can be dropped by spiders, and I think generals, I don't remember exactly, but it's better to get sulfur here anyway. They drop the sulfur that you'll definitely be needing later on. You can also see Skyblade bots here that drop thread. And deeper into the pyramid, you can also see multiple outcrops like the Amberite right there. There's more Amberite there, Emeraldite, Amberite. And then you can drop down deeper into the pyramids. Right here, as you drop in, you can see there's more enemy types, such as the Watcher that drops both leather and animal skin, animal bones, and thread, as well as more sulfur. There is the Nightmare Lord here that drops animal bones, gemstone, and sulfur, as well as has more amethyst right there. I'm going to avoid him because I'd rather not get into a fight right now. And you can also get your Emberstone clusters here, which I still don't know what they're used for. Just overall, this is probably the best place to get your Amberite, Emeraldite, and Amethyst later in the game. Lastly, there's one more section at the very bottom. One more outcrop. Down here in this last area of the pyramid, there is another amethyst outcrop right there. There's one right in the middle here. And there's one at the very end there. And this is probably the best place for you to be getting your amethyst by cycling between those 3 outcrops and killing enemies in the middle to get the sulfur and other drops that you may need. Anyway, that's all for this video on how to get every resource for mining and lumbering at any point in the game. And I will be seeing you next time.
アリーベ・デルチ